Good morning, it's day 8 on the PCT in Oregon. The big question today is whether I will make it into Crater Lake, Mazama village, or camp before Crater Lake and hike in the morning. My 3 hiking partners, Traveler is ahead of me, Lingo and Judge are behind me. Here's a little patch of snow. They're both, I think 2 of them are gonna definitely hike in tomorrow morning, but Traveler and I might hike in tonight and meet my friend Sonny, who is there in his RV. So we'll just decide about 5 miles before we get to Mazama village if we're going to do the final 5 miles tonight or tomorrow. But I had a pretty good night last night. Got an early start at 6:40 this morning. And another concern is water. There's not much water on this section. I have 2 liters. We might have to hike off the trail to get some extra water today. Good evening. Well, we have decided to push on to Crater Lake. It's about 5:30 now and about 3 miles into Crater Lake, so we're doing fine. Just crossed the 100-mile mark on this journey about half an hour ago. And the burnt forest is gone now. Now it's all green. This is actually inside Crater Lake National Park. It's very green and lush here. Road walk into Mazama village. Yeah, I don't know how far it is. I've not seen many cars on this road. Traveler is ahead of me, Judge and Lingo are behind me. This is day 10, leaving Crater Lake, heading north. I'm taking the Crater Lake Alternative Trail. It's not the official PCT. It goes for several miles right along the rim of Crater Lake, so it's very scenic. And there's a lot of hikers that do this alternate just because it's so beautiful. That's Watchman Peak up there, and over here is Wizard Island. You just can't describe how blue this water is. I've never seen anything quite like it. Not even Lake Tahoe is that blue. Wizard Island. Watchman. The Watchman. Good morning. It's day 4. I'm still in Crater Lake. Left the rim trail, the rim yesterday, and camped at a place called Grouse Hill Campsite. There was quite a few other campers there. Arrived fairly early, about 3:30. Able to take a little rest before dinner. 7 of us sat around and ate dinner together, and then early bedtime. A thru hiker came in who had done 32 miles yesterday, from Scotland, and he's really packing the miles in. We're thinking of doing somewhere between 15 to 17 today. We're gonna go towards a place called Mount Thielsen where there appears to be some snow. Took a little detour today off the trail to get some water that was left at a water cache by a trail angel. I've adopted a new trail name. From my old trail name in 2019 was Lucky. I've adopted a new one. It's Bubblehead. Now Bubblehead is Navy lingo for a submariner, a bubblehead. Not a bobblehead, a bubblehead. So that's what I'm going by now. We're planning to meet about 14 miles up the trail and decide then if we're going to keep going another few miles up towards Mount Thielsen. Our next resupply is Shelter Cove, which it's an 84-mile stretch from Crater Lake to Shelter Cove, so I have to kind of stretch my food. My goal is to reach Shelter Cove with no food in my pack, to have enough food to keep me eating well before I get there. So the kind lady last night gave me an extra breakfast that she didn't need, an oatmeal breakfast, which I had this morning because I was short on breakfast food. But we'll see. I'll just probably have to ration a little bit. Good morning. Been on the trail about 2 hours this morning. Left from Thielsen Creek. Yesterday was a pretty good day, about 17 miles. And today looks to be at least 16, possibly more. We added a new member to our hiking group yesterday. His name is Alpine from Washington State. We had a great campsite last night. It's the best yet, under Thielsen Peak, or Mount Thielsen. Now, it looks like we might split. A couple of the people want to take the official PCT, which is under a lot of snow this year. The Cascades had an abundance of snowfall this year. So the two guys, they want to hike the official PCT. The two gals want to take an alternate lower and a little bit shorter route to our next resupply, which is at Shelter Cove Resort. I haven't decided, but I'm tending to take the safer and shorter route. We've had large snow patches, especially yesterday and today. We actually started getting snow before Crater Lake, and it looks to be a lot of this snow covers the trail, especially up ahead. It's hard to see the trail, but my concern more is slipping, because it's very slippery and falling. I'm not really worried about the navigation as much as slipping and falling. My health has been pretty good. I do have a couple blister spots on my feet, but I've covered them with tape, so they should be okay. But the rest of me seems to be holding up pretty good. We're about 140 miles into this hike, and we're going to get to Shelter Cove either in 3 days, or depending on which route we take. Here's an example of one of the snow patches that we have to hike through. This is a relatively simple one. As you can see, there's more up ahead, and this is what I have to look forward to. Good evening. I'm on my way to Windigo Pass. It's about 3 miles from here. This is going to turn out to be a 22-mile day, my longest day yet. And at Windigo Pass, there's a water cache, and there's a battery bank to charge batteries. We decided tomorrow to bypass the snowy PCT and to take the alternate trail down to Crescent Lake. So there's 5 of us that are going to just do 10 miles tomorrow to Crescent Lake, where we can swim, and then the following day 10 miles uphill to Shelter Cove on Odell Lake. So the next 2 days should be relatively easy. And then they're talking about also taking a 0 day at Shelter Cove, where we just do laundry and shower and rest. That's what's going on. This trail is pretty easy. You see, it's just pretty level forest. It's about 7:30 now, so it's really cool, which is nice because it was hot earlier today. There were a few snowy sections at the beginning of the day, and I had to use my GPS about 3 times to navigate because I lost the trail for a little while. So everybody, the other 4 people are all ahead of me, and I'll be coming in there in about an hour and a half.
Come on. take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway, you know. Wow! Come on, and groove along. Come on. Said babe, I said babe, oh honey, come and groove along.
This is where we stayed last night, Windigo Pass. There was a water cache here. Second water cache of the trip. The first one was near Crater Lake. This is where we camped, back up here, right up there. It's about 7:30 and time to go. Hit the trail for Crescent Lake. Good morning. I'm about probably 3 miles from Crescent Lake. Left Windigo Pass this morning. Now check out this beautiful lake I just came upon. I don't know the name, but there's a lot of these really nice looking lakes in this section. It would be a beautiful place to camp. But I'm on my way to another lake called Crescent Lake, where there's some couple camp hosts who, from what I've heard, they will offer a soda or some sort of trail magic like that. But what I wanted to say, on the PCT there's the purists who follow the PCT the whole way, and then there's people like me who take alternate trails. And this is the second alternate trail I've taken. The first was the Crater Lake Rim alternate. I took that mainly just for the scenery and because my hiking partners wanted to take that. And this is my second alternate. And the reason that we are taking this alternate, it's actually about 10 miles shorter than the regular PCT, and it avoids a lot of the snow that has been slowly melting, but it is melting. But I don't want to walk on the snow. I've already slipped a couple of times, and just to play it safe, I'm taking the alternate. And I actually enjoy just walking through the forest like this. And I don't really need the views, the high vista views. This is nice in its own right. You hear the birds, heard a woodpecker pecking this morning. Saw some sort of big bird like a grouse on the ground. And it's a relatively short day, only 10 miles, rather than the 22 that we did yesterday.
You gotta feel it. Yeah, you gotta move along. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it. On the roadway, move along. Baby, you gotta move along.
Good morning. Day 14 on the PCT in Oregon. I left Crescent Lake this morning, Whitefish Horse Camp, and I'm headed towards Odell Lake, Shelter Cove Resort, which is 10 miles away. Had a great night last night. The camp hosts, Jim and Jerry, treated us to fresh fruit, soda, and hot coffee this morning. So that was a great choice of a place to spend the night. There were 7 other backpackers there last night. I had a great chat with another retired Navy vet, trail named Boondoggle. We had a good chat for about an hour about the Navy, our Navy careers. He's the third Navy vet I've been able to chat with since I've been on the trail. So tomorrow we're planning to take a zero at Shelter Cove to do laundry, resupply. I have a resupply package there, which I'll pick up today. And it looks like Traveler, Alpine, and I are gonna try to hike together to Cascade Locks, which is about 2 weeks from here. Judge and Lingo did a 20-mile day yesterday, and they went all the way to Shelter Lake. So we'll probably see them this afternoon when we get there. So this is another day of just hiking through a pine forest. It finally warmed up. It was freezing this morning. My fingers and toes were cold. I didn't warm up until just about 15 minutes ago. I've been walking for over an hour. I think it was that lake effect. The campsite was right next to the lake and very cold, the coldest morning yet on the trail. So I had to get going, start hiking at 7 a.m. just to warm up. Alpine and Traveler are probably somewhere shortly behind me. I'll probably meet them in a little while. Yeah, now I'm finally warming up. It's great. Shelter Cove Resort. Arrived here about 11:30 a.m. and picked up my resupply package.